Hi folks, today we're going to look at the Tronsmart Draco AW80. This is an Android media player, but it's an octa-core media player, so unlike the ones we've looked at before, this box will power your TV with full 8-core processing power and 64-bit goodness. It's Android based, as you'd expect, Android 4.4 KitKat. It runs up to 4K, supports things like XBMC, and is, as you can see, beautifully packaged. Let's have a look inside the box and see what we've got. Well, here's the unit itself, which is larger than the traditional sized TV boxes we've seen. Aerial on the side here, 2 USBs, SD card slot, SATA slot, so you can put an external hard drive directly into it. And on the back here you have Ethernet, of course, OTG USB, so you can again power a USB drive out of there or another accessory. HDMI to the TV, obviously, AV and optical, and the power. And there you go. So nicely ventilated on the bottom there. We need to keep it cool with 8 cores thumping away, one assumes, in 4K. The packaging is very, very slick, I have to say. The user manual is not that great, however. When I say not great, I mean it's just not that detailed. You get the basic information you need to get you up and running, but nothing really of any depth in terms of maybe you don't need it, I don't know, maybe it's, I mean, it's quite easy. We'll see when we plug it up and see how easy it is to set it up and stuff. And in the box, of course, you get things you'd expect, like the, well, things you'd expect and things you wouldn't, like power, USB cable, power cable, HDMI cable, and the remote control, which is, and it's all, I really like this packaging, very slick, very nice. There you go, and standard sort of, you know, wave it in the air kind of remote control. No batteries, because of the problem shipping batteries, so you have to supply your own batteries with all this gear to get it all powered up, the remote control. And this is the only unusual part, which is the cable which goes into the I/O here in the side. Yeah. So let's get it plugged up and let's see how it actually runs, shall we? Well, first things first, so the actual unit plugs up quite simply with an HDMI cable into the TV and a power plug. That's it. Unless you're attaching external bits and pieces. You can see the power light just glistening off my hand there, I assume, and that's it. And once that's set, that's ready to go. So then it's just a matter to fire up the TV. Well, a little bit of a disappointment is the remote control is not an air mouse, so it has basically a mouse mode and another mode. So if I click there, I can exit the mouse mode, which means you use these direction keys, which is quite clunky, and if I enter the mouse mode, then what you see on the screen is that little cursor moving around as I move which is a recipe for disaster really with these things. As we've learnt before, they're too clunky. And the other mode is no better really for moving. It just gets you round by clicking not very efficiently. So I'm going to cheat and I'm going to swap this for an air mouse, which I take from the Probox air mouse, which is a pretty fine piece of equipment, and will get you around a lot quicker. As you can see, it's cheating, but I heartily recommend, if you're going to get one of these, you might as well spend a bit of extra to get the air mouse, because things go much better with the air mouse. You can navigate your way around really quickly. Okay, so let's have a look. As we can see from the dashboard, it's a very standard Android implementation. Let's have a quick check about the device. We're running Android 4.4.2 KitKat. There you go. On board, we can see that there's 12 gigs of space out of the 16 gigs in available, because there's stuff available already on the system itself. Let's check through the default apps that you get on here. You see the browser, File Explorer, which is good, which is neat. It's a great app for making your way around your system. Miracast, we'll test that later. Hulu Plus, MySpace, Netflix, as we saw before. Plex, which is a nice little, you have to pay for it of course, but it's a nice little way to sort out your media streaming, and XBMC. Well, you're going to be asking the number one question, which is what's the performance like with an octa-core in a TV box? I've just done an Antuttu benchmark, and as you'll see, it's rating at 60,028. This compares to the ProboxEX, which ranked at 40,000. So we can see a significant uplift in sheer raw performance figures according to the benchmark, which is very interesting. I'm just downloading a game here, and very impressed with the Wi-Fi. It's solid, it's not dropping out, really quite robust. I don't know if you can see top right here, I'm getting full bars, and the router is in the next room. And so here we are with a little bit of a demo of some racing game. It's not real racing in quality, but if you can tell that there's no problem with actually playing the game and getting the kind of graphics you need at this level. I'm actually not doing too bad, because I'm not even using a joystick or anything, but I'm quite surprised. So yeah, you know, it's going to handle, with a 60,000 Antuttu score, it's going to handle anything you can throw at it, basically. So just to check to see whether it is actually rooted. Congratulations. Yeah, it comes out of the box with root access for those of you who are geeky enough to want to use the features that gives you. Some quite cool stuff like backing up and stuff like that. So yeah, nice little touch. So just checking out the browser. Again, fairly standard, got lots of power to make yourself get around and access the sites you want to quickly. Images load fast, as do pages. Which proves that the Wi-Fi is solid as well, which is nice. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice experience. You need this little air mouse though to make it work, as I said before. Otherwise it could be quite laborious. Or a keyboard with trackball or something like that. Here we go with this wonderful fake 4K. This is a 4K YouTube video playing on my non-4K TV. Sorry about that, folks, but that's the way life is. Well, hopefully you can see, you know, the quality. I saw a little bit of glitching there as it was panning, but it does that on my PC, so, you know. 4K is a lot of information to shuffle around. I've got to say that's a pretty beautiful picture. Oh, just to prove that there is sound, but I've turned it down. So let's see what XBMC does, or Kodi as it's now called. Let's see how that goes. So you have to set it up yourself and load all your favorite plugin add-ons and all that kind of stuff yourself, because you're not going to be able to rely on it coming out of the box with anything. There you go. So I've got to watch the copyright cops, of course, so you can only get a little bit of that. But yep, looks like it's fine. It runs as it should do. Again, nice to see things like Netflix up and installed as standard, so you can just sign in and you're ready to watch. For those who want to cut the cord, that's a perfect way to start. Finally, maps, as you'd expect, are very responsive with this mighty octa-core 64-bit and the 2 gigs of RAM, etc. Okay, finally we're going to try Miracast. Here we go. It actually connected faultlessly, so it gets 10 points from us for that, I've got to say, bearing in mind how pitiful some of these implementations are. Let's try doing something really tricky with it. Let's give it a bit of Subway Surfers. So, there you go. Whoops. I got caught. There you go. You can tell that the lag is not so bad. In fact, it's pretty good considering I'm playing a game on here. And just to prove that Miracast also works in landscape mode, here's some sort of very strange farming game. I'll give you a bit of noise there, York. There you go. Pretty cool, actually. I'm not seeing any lag whatsoever. Even the Probox had problems handling Miracast simultaneously. This puppy really just eats it up. Wow, wow! This is a whole new ball game in terms of using your phone as a controller. Look at that, straight out the box. Yeah, very nice indeed. Very nice. Really easy to set up, instantaneous, no hassle. That's how Miracast should be. Lovely. Okay, so that's the Tronsmart Draco AW80 OctaCore TV box. Yeah, the best yet. I mean, okay, the one thing is you're not getting a fancy UI, you know, front end for this. It's all very stock Android, which some people love and some people find a little bit confusing. If you're used to your phone, then, you know, it should be no problem at all. For those who are newcomers to these boxes, it may be worthwhile finding a launcher which makes it a little bit easier to navigate. But as a product, wow, yeah, this is setting the new standard for TV boxes without a question. I've not met a box which comes anywhere near the power of this and the ability to run all the apps without even blinking. Really, really cool. There you go. The Tronsmart Draco AW80. Very, very nice. As usual, if you've enjoyed this video, please like it and share it and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more cool stuff like this. Thanks very much.